Welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm here with Mike Vega, writer for the Boston Globe, and a member of the last state championship football team here at St. Joseph Academy back in 1980, the glory days, I hear. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, starting off with if you could describe to us what your position is with the Boston Globe and what sort of things you do.
Well, Daniel, I've been there for about 28 years now, and I've covered everything. I'm a sports writer, but I've done Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, Daytona 500, Indy 500, which are two of my favorite events to do. The Boston Marathon, and I've covered the NCAA Final Four, the Frozen Four, all the bowl games, the Orange, the Cotton, Rose, Fiesta, Sugar, Orange. Did I mention Orange?
Okay. I'm not even sure.
But I guess you get the picture. I mean, I've done it all in my 28 years. I've even covered the Red Sox for 2 years, which was, really interesting to do. Got to meet a lot of great people in the organization and the clubhouse. And so it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. But it was great coming back here today to St. Joseph Academy to be here for the 5th annual Pear Breakfast and to see so many great people, parents of classmates like your dad, who's a great friend and a great teammate. And, I think that it was wonderful to come back.
Oh, absolutely. And, we love to have you. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Especially after the scare over in Daytona. For those of you who don't know, it almost got rained out. And if it had, we would not have the joy of having him here with us. So we're very glad he is here. And
let me tell you, I'm very glad to be here.
Okay, so Mr. Vega, as professionals we seem here in the Project Red Room, we are still high school, and I know our viewers would love to hear some funny stories that may have happened in your 26, 28 years that you've been working.
Oh, man.
Anything interesting happened? Any people you've met?
Oh, well, I've met so many, but I shared one today at the prayer breakfast about how the plan all comes together. It seldom happens, but when I was putting together a video for one of my classmates' dads, Lucky Rodriguez, one of my best friends, and his dad was retiring from the Brownsville Independent School District after 4 decades of being an administrator, athletic director, an educator and a coach. And he called me up and said, "Hey, can you do a little something? Put together a tape or for this video that we're putting together." And so I said, well, let me give it some thought, and I'll get back to you. And so, I knew that his dad had, who's in the Texas High School Coaches Hall of Fame, very, very highly regarded, and he coached, football, basketball, and baseball. And so I thought, let me go to the 3 biggest names in Boston and see if they can, lend some time to send out a shout out. Mm-hmm. So I enlisted the help of Bill Belichick, the Patriots head coach, Terry Francona, who was the manager of the Red Sox at the time, and Doc Rivers, who's the head coach of the Boston Celtics. Mm-hmm. Now, who do you think would have been the toughest guy to deal with, right?
Belichick, of course.
Without question, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel, he couldn't have been more accommodating, and it was amazing because he was a coach himself, and he understood that, these were men who dedicated themselves to the profession because his dad was a coach too. So
for Navy, right?
For Navy, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And he was a guy that I think appreciated that. And so it was really a surprise to me how eager he was to kind of, cooperate. Mm-hmm. And so we wound up getting together, and it was like the week that they were getting ready to play the Green Bay Packers. And we had just finished up this Wednesday press conference with the local media. And he winds up, agreeing to do it right after the press conference. And so I was ecstatic, and so I alerted my video guy. And so we went into this little small room, much smaller than the one that we're in now. And we wound up, it's one of these rooms where the Patriots kept their audio-visual equipment. And then they also had like a little remote studio for the NFL Network stand-ups. And so we went in there. And I explained to him what we were doing. He was like, I got this, no problem. And so we were sitting in there, and my video guy, got the sound levels, the light levels all squared away, ready to go. Coach, 1, 2, 3, you're on. So he looks at the camera and goes, "This is Coach Belichick of the New England Patriots." And I just want to wish, all of a sudden it goes pitch dark in the room. We're standing in complete darkness. and the lights had gone out. And I'm standing there thinking, oh my God, the lights are going to come on. He's going to look at his watch. He's going to look at me, and he's going to say, sorry, Mike, that's all the time I have for you. I've got the Packers to prepare for this week, you know. And if he had said that, I would have been cool with it.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with it.
Absolutely.
But, you know, the lights came on, and much to my surprise, he looked at me. He says, take two?
Take two.
And you know what? I absolutely said, yes, Coach, would you please? And he batted it out of the park, and he was wonderful. And it made that whole video that we wound up doing. And it was funny because that day, the day that I was going to go get Terry Francona, I was on my way to go get Doc Rivers. I needed to get Terry Francona, who was the toughest to get a hold of because he was out of season. Well, I was on my way to Waltham, Mass for the Celtics practice, where I was going to go get Doc Rivers. And as luck would have it, I was driving on the Mass Turnpike right by Fenway when their press secretary calls me to say, hey, Terry Francona is ready if you're ready now. And I said, absolutely. And I literally did a U-turn on the Mass Turnpike. I mean, I got off the turnpike and circled my way back to Fenway Park and went in there and got a hold of Terry Francona. He came out and he did his shout out to Coach Joe. So now I had Terry Francona and Bill Belichick. And this plan that I thought will never come together was almost in hand, and I only had one guy to get, and that was Doc Rivers. And Doc loves me. He loves me. So I show up for their practice, and he's doing some interviews, and I wait, and I come in and I explain to him. He's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And he was a prince, absolute prince, and he did like this fabulous take. And I looked at my recorder, and I failed to hit the record button.
Oh, my God.
So he had to do a take two as well.
With the Doc.
Yes. So, but he was great. He knocked it out of the park on the second take, and it all came together, and we had that beautiful video for Coach Joe Rodriguez.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, I guess that only means one thing. Now we're going to have to get Bill Belichick, Terry Francona, and Doc Rivers all to come over here on Project Red, and we can all do an interview.
Absolutely.
Together. Only take two takes, though. Anything more,
yeah.
Who knows with these guys. But
absolutely.
No, we really appreciate your time here. I know I enjoyed it, being the sports guy that I am. I hope our viewers enjoyed it as well. You guys are really looking at somebody special here, an alumnus here at St. Joseph Academy. We thank you so much for being
Dale,
here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and thank you. You guys do great work here on Project Red.
We appreciate it. That's
Alrighty.
all. We'll hold you back here on the camera, but
Okay.
we thank you guys for watching Sports Talk, and we'll see you next time.